You're listening to the Small Business Talk podcast with Cathy Smith. Welcome to Small Business Talk, episode 190. In episode 188, I told you how I got over my video phobia, how it was mindset, how I just decided and I did it. Well, for a lot of you said that's not enough. It must have been more than mindset. We want to know how you actually did it. So it did start with mindset. It was the decision to do it. I decided that I was going to do it. I decided to put all the fears and phobias away and just do it. And that's the first thing that you've got to do is make the decision to just do it. The second thing I did was stop trying to remember. I stopped trying to remember everything that I wanted to tell you. And I started using a teleprompter. So first of all, I started writing scripts and I couldn't read it quick enough without you being able to see it. So then I went to dot points. So not everything is scripted, just reminding me of those few things that I want to tell you. So I'm no longer writing scripts, which takes a lot of time. So that's another procrastination so that you don't do it. I'm just putting down the dot points of the things that I want to tell you. I started thinking about you guys. The audience, about not doing video is not serving you. I can't tell you what I want to tell you. I can't get it across. For some of you, reading blogs is not enough. You need to be able to see me, hear me, and be able to do it that way. So you've always been able to hear me on SBT, Small Business Talk, but now that you can see me, so you can always go across to YouTube and check that out as well. Then I started using the phone to record rather than the computer. So it just makes it much easier, much more convenient. You might notice today's background's a little bit different because I'm not in my normal studio. So that gives you more options as well. And it also means that I'm no longer looking at the camera. So I can't see myself. I'm looking at the little dot on the side of the phone, which means that I'm now looking at you in the center. But when I'm recording this, it's on the left-hand side. So it means I can't actually see myself when I'm recording, which has its downsides. You might find from time to time I have something in my teeth or my hair's a bit weird, but oh well, it's better to get it out there and get the content to you than to be spot perfect. And I stopped worrying about how I looked. We're our own biggest critic. We all are far harsher on ourselves than anybody else is. So I've got a hair out of place. If that bothers you, well then maybe I'm not the person for you. But I stopped critiquing myself and went, okay, I've got to get this information out to you. So I've got to do it. And hopefully over time it will get better. And then eventually I will be happy to look at it. Just the same as when I started doing the audio. First of all, I couldn't listen to it. And then what I used to do was listen to it in the car and pretend I was listening to somebody else's audio on the podcast. And then that way I was able to serve you better. I was also able to critique myself and realize that I was doing thinking words. I would say absolutely a lot, particularly when I was interviewing. So I stopped saying that. Unfortunately, I started introducing other words instead, but I picked up on those as well and started to get much better. So you will get better. But the thing is that you have to start. So start small when you're thinking about it. Just try for a 30-second, maybe a minute, maybe a couple of minute video and just start. Do a little test so you can see what the lighting and the surrounds look like, what the audio's like, what your background's like, and just start small. And then it's always good to get accountability. Enlist your team or enlist somebody. Put it out publicly that you're going to be doing constant videos and get somebody who can check in on you and say, hey, what happened to last week? You didn't quite get there. And yes, it's annoying, but it starts to be a point where you don't want to be saying, no, I didn't, or come up with a whole stack of excuses, or I certainly don't. So that can also be a great way. So just do it. You can do it. Yes, the first ones are not going to be brilliant, but nobody else's is either. If you listen to some of the really big names at the moment, they will tell you how bad they were in the first ones. And yeah, they've probably got rid of them by now and nobody wants to watch them. But if your content's good and if you're serving people and doing the thing that you should be doing doing your genius, you will definitely get better. So commit to doing a video, just do it small. And practice does make perfect, but if you don't publish it, you're never going to know what the reaction is. You're never actually going to get it out into the world. So if you just keep practicing and never getting it out, it's not the same as publishing. So if you're waiting for perfection, unfortunately, that's not going to happen. So you just need to do it. So stop being so critical on yourself. Think about the audience. Just do it. Do it on the phone. It's much easier. Commit and get accountability. And that way, you are going to do it. You have your own genius. You have the things that you need to be getting out to your audience. And video is the way to do it. The social media platforms all push out video so much more than they do any other content. And we can relate to people far quicker on video. You can immediately see if you like me, if you like the sound of my accent, if you like the way I sometimes stumble when I'm thinking, if you like the fact that I'm genuine and I am me. And if you don't, well, that's just as good too, because you don't want to be suffering through something you don't like. And I'm never going to be able to serve you as your person, as your marketing coach, as helping you with your marketing. So make sure that you are doing video and just start doing it slowly. Even if you can only commit to one every couple of weeks, then just do it. Don't over edit it either, because that's going to take you more time. Another thing that you can procrastinate. If you make something really bad, sure, do it. So generally, if you can just get the content out there, then you will get better. And it gives you more things that you can use for your marketing. You can cut a longer video up once you do get more confident and make them longer. You can use them in your reels. You can use them in all your social media platforms. And then you can start getting more confident to do like a welcome video on your website, or if you've got a course or something, to bring in that video content there. So it really is a great skill, and it is going to be needed more and more. So that's how I got over my video phobia. I hope it helps you, and I hope that you're able to do it as well. So just do it. Hit record and then hit that publish button. And as always, SBT community, enjoy your journey. I'll see you next week. Don't forget to subscribe to Small Business Talk podcast and head on over to smallbusinestalk.com.au/downloads for all the show notes and links to this episode. Remember, to be great, you must start. Pick one tip from today's episode, take action and implement it. Let's meet again next week at the same time and place. Until then, take action. And SBT community, enjoy your journey.